book lovers, book readers, book friends. Welcome to Read This Book. I'm your book hostess, LaShonda, bringing you this week's book review of Crave by Evelyn Sola. Evelyn Sola is a new to me author. She's been around for a while, but this is my first book by her. And wow. Yeah, wow. This book had so much pain. It had so much angst and so much just, ugh. It was everything and I loved it. So don't let the pain keep you from reading this book. Let me tell you what it's about. Come with me, book friends. But before we get into this, make sure that you like the video, share it, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, okay? Because sharing is caring and subscribing makes me happy. And you don't want to miss out on all this book goodness, okay? Okay. But let's jump into Crave by Evelyn Sola. It is the story of Jacob and Sandra. Jacob Clark is part of this uber rich Clark family, and Sandra is the daughter of a baker who her mom pretty much like provides like all the lunches and cakes and things for this family and for their business. And so Sandra has to deliver a birthday cake to Jacob's mom for her party. And she meets Jacob. His mom, introduces him, but she was saving Sandra for her other son, the handsome doctor. She wanted Jacob to introduce Sandra to. But Jacob took one look at her and he was like, she's mine. She's mine. And so she ends up staying for the party, and her and Jacob are talking. They have this connection, and you was like, ooh, he a little fresh, girl. And she's contemplating like, okay, what's really good, Jacob? And so she's sensing, that there's different vibes between Jacob and his parents. Like he's clearly a mama's boy, the favorite, and his dad is like, I love him, but you can kind of see that like there's a little bit of tension or there's something there. But she was like, you know what? This ain't my party. It ain't my business. I'm just here to deliver a cake and see how the rich people do it. So they progress through this party, and his brother arrives, and you immediately know that there is some tension there, that there is some bad blood, that there is just, okay, what's happening between Jacob and Troy? So he's like ignoring Troy, whatever, for the party. They're dancing, having a good time, and they're talking. And then Troy's wife shows up, and Sandra makes a comment. And let's just say Jacob went from nice and flirty to he could possibly get in the pants that night into this angry, irrational, tear the club up. Like he flipped the script. And she was like, what in the world is this? Like, nah, let me just get my stuff and go. Like, she put her church finger up and she tipped up at the party, y'all. She's like, no and no. And so she, gets home and she's telling her sister and brother-in-law about what happened. And, they're all here for it because they're nosy gossips and, they want all the tea, which I love that, by the way, because it's both the husband and the wife that are both nosy. I'm like, okay, so she's telling them about it, and they're just like, okay, well, it sounded like you had a connection until, obviously, this happened with the brother. You should explore it. And she was like, girl, please, I ain't got time for that. Spoiler alert, she had time. She had time. So Jacob, wakes up the next day, and he's realizing like, man, I really acted a fool. And I didn't even get, Sandra's phone number. Like, dang it, I was feeling her. And so he's like, now he wants to like find her and get to know her. And so it's his mission to get her. And she's like, no, no. And he's like, listen, he shows up to her mom's bakery and is pleading his case. Like, just give me a chance, let me explain. Let me explain what's happening so you don't think I'm just, you know, this jerk who, causes scenes and all this other stuff. And she's like, okay, fine. That did not go well. Jacob and Troy, they were very close, and then a betrayal happened that put a rift between them. And where Troy is really wanting to move past it and make amends, Jacob is like, hell to the no. He was like, hell to the nah, hell never. You can kick rocks. You are dead to me, and we're gonna keep it how it's been, you know. Which was really bad. It was really harsh. It was really putting a strain on the family and the family dynamics. It was putting a rift between not just his brother, between Jacob and Troy, but also his younger brother Luke. It really strained the family dynamics. And I'm reading that and I'm like, bruh, come on. Like, that's your brother. The pain. The pain is you're reading this and you are watching. Like, I felt like I was watching this movie and just watching it unfold, and I'm like pleading for Jacob, like, please, because you can see that he's in pain. He wants to, have his family back, but his ego and his pride and just the anger, the resentment won't let him let it go. And you also see that his brother Troy is in pain because he wants his brother back. He's asked for forgiveness. He's asked for, like, man, what can I do? But what Jacob wants, Troy can't do. He won't give it. And so you feel the pain that they are causing each other, but you also feel the pain because Jacob just will not let it go. And not until he meets Sandra does he get that wake up check that, okay, I'm not going to be happy until I learn how to get along with my brother. I'm not going to be happy until, I learn that I can't control everything. Because he did have these kind of control issues. I found him to be a little high-handed at times, almost pushy to a point where it was not attractive. And I was like, okay, you looking to get slapped. But that was all part of because he had not practiced forgiveness. And so that's what this story ultimately about. It's about forgiveness. It's about family. It's about accepting people with their flaws and all, and learning to be comfortable with your flaws and that you are enough. Sandra, in this book, she wasn't like, ta-da! I don't know. She didn't, to me, she didn't have a lot of depth of character, right? Like, she wasn't, a high-powered lawyer or anything. She was a nurse, and I'm not knocking that. But her character was real, like, simple. And I think that she had to be simple because Jacob and his family was so large, it's so complex. And she ended up being what he needed, but he had to fight for it. And she had to accept him and his love with his flaws. So Crave was this emotionally intense, it was this kind of cat and mouse game between Jacob and Sandra, but ultimately it was about love and forgiveness and family and being able to say, I'm sorry, and I love you. So yeah, Evelyn Sola did that. She did that so much where this is a series, and I have picked up the next book because I have to know what's happening with the handsome doctor, which he is funny. I love this. I love this book. I loved the angst. I loved the emotional pull. I loved that even though Jacob was a little bit controlling, he was very sure in his feelings, and he put up with her mama. Cause Lord, Sandra mama, she didn't play. She minced no words, and I was here for it. I loved that Sandra and her family was of Haitian descent. I loved that. But I loved just this different emotional take and pull of this story. So if you're looking for a good story with a lot of angst and a lot of family drama, but it's still a love story that is still, that will pull you in, then you should read Crave by Evelyn Sola. So, until next time, book friends, read a good book. Mwah.